Hey guys, I'm Mike, and this is not your Mother's Day Fantasy League podcast. And that is still a mouthful. As always, I'm joined by Pittsburgh Dave. How we doing tonight, Dave?
Doing well tonight. We are getting excited talking about week number 4 and our first
Yeah.
doubleheader weekend that are going to spice up the standings here when all the dust settles here. The first time the league has not gone to a doubleheader weekend, which means you're playing two different teams. So if you have a good week, got a chance to go 2-0, and if you absolutely bombed it like my Steelers did, you're going to go 0-2. And we got a lot of games still up for grabs with one game to play tonight on Monday night.
Yeah, it's pretty intriguing with all of these games going on at once here for sure. So let's go ahead and jump right into these matchups here. We're just going to go through these left to right here. So, of course, it's going to start off with my matchups. And it looks like I am comfortable here. I am not even worried. I don't even have any drama going into Monday night. So, that's a pretty good feeling. I am taking care of business against Jason, who, by the way, does have a migraine. So, he will not be joining us tonight. Rest up, Jason. We'll see you next week. But yeah, unfortunately, I was led by Harrison Smith with this 60 burger
60
here,
points, which is
and
outstanding from a safety.
from a safety is unreal. Those 3 sacks, very Kyle Hamilton like right there, as he pulled off against the Colts a couple weeks ago. But yeah, so a lot of yeah, going into Monday night at 3:09 with 2 left. Don't think I'm going to get touched by Jason, and I'm pretty safe against Dustin here as
Yeah,
well.
you're up by 59 up against Dustin, Tennessee Dustin. You're still up by 110 points with the Colts. Yeah, I've got you down for 2 wins this weekend, being led again by your man Big Cock Brock
Big cock
doing his
Brock.
thing.
Yeah, he's been just super consistent, just a measly 20 for 21. But yeah, he just gets it done. So it's a nice weapon to have there at the price I have him at. That's going to put me at 4-1. So the question is, who's still going to be undefeated going into next week? Let's get into these other matchups and you'll find out. Nick's pretty comfortable here. He's got the 353 to 298 lead here on Jeremy. Jeremy with 2 to play, but we don't think he's got enough left tonight to make up a 55-point swing.
No, I don't see it happening. I think Nick scored another great week with 353 points. Christian McCaffrey has just freaking been lights out. Mr.
Yeah.
Touchdown himself, puts up another 60 points, and then the newly acquired quarterback that Nick didn't need, Jalen Hurts, puts up another 38 points, and then his safety, Cameron Curl, putting up 30 points also. 353 points, very respectable, and great place to be sitting with no players left on a doubleheader weekend. So I've got Nick going 2-0 with victories over both Buffalo Jeremy and Miami Rich. So
It is certainly looking that way. I mean, if he scores 353 and loses even one of those matchups, I'd be fairly disappointed. You feel pretty confident anytime you can crack that 300 threshold, but yeah, 353, he's coasting into Monday night here,
yeah,
which is going to put his squad at 4-1 as well.
four and
Yeah,
one and
anytime.
probably top of the AFC North.
Yeah, probably so. Um, Moving on to Rich and Dan here. Dan has the Browns have the highest scoring team this week with 384, getting 30, 36, 38, and 38 out of Russell Wilson, Kyron Williams, and Diggs.
Oh, check out Nicholas Morrow. His linebacker got him 54.
Yeah, and we're not even done. I was going to mention Puka Nakua, which might have been the steal of the draft for the Rams and him. Um, Cooper Cup's injury has been the best thing to happen to that guy. And then,
Well,
yeah, Nicholas
Cooper
Moore.
who when you have Puka.
I know.
So
Absolutely.
So
But
I want to
yeah,
just give a shout out to Dan. Dan's a new dad. I don't know what him and Jeremy have got going 9 months ago, but it looks like you deliver a kid, you you get yourself a victory in our league. So
Right.
Dan was a new as
Congratulations.
of yesterday, so congratulations to him. And Dan is probably coming out of here with 2 victories this weekend, as he's up over 100 points over Rich and up 112 points over New England Joey this weekend. So very impressive back-to-back weekends that Cleveland Dan has put up, and he may be a force that may have to be dealt with here with his Mr. Pikachu Puka and what he's doing.
No kidding. I think he had a few. Yeah, I mean, even Dobbs had a great game here on the bench for him. Michael Wilson with 28 points on the bench. Yeah, Nick Bonito with 39. So really just his whole team went off for him. 25 out of an offense is pretty nice
That
too.
is nice.
But 384, I mean, yeah, if you don't get the clean sweep with that amount of points, you got to feel pretty disappointed. But yeah, he's going to be moving forward at a 3-2 at the end of this week. Moving on. So yeah, Dave, unfortunately, as he mentioned, fell a bit short this week and is going to be losing both of his matchups with nobody playing tonight.
Yeah, but it was a tough weekend for the Steelers. You know, it's a tough weekend when Zach Wilson is your best quarterback on your roster, which he actually looked decent last night. But you know, I got losses coming up to Braxton and Joey, both the Patriots and the Jets. Close games, but you know, when you put up 259 points and that's the season low, not going to win many games like that. So looks like the Steelers are going 0-2 this weekend. Well, they are going 0-2 because I'm out of players. So, and I'm still trailing.
So you're going to be sitting 3-2, which is going to tie you with Dan with the Browns and put you behind Nick's Bengals.
Yep.
Because he's
That,
going
that's
to.
why that's why this doubleheader weekend is quite intriguing. There can be some position changes from third to first, or second to 1st, or first to last, I guess.
Big swings for sure. But yeah, it's wild to me. This is how unpredictable Kirk Cousins is, and I get it. Sometimes you're playing from behind and quarterbacks are going to get those garbage time yards, but they went 0-3 and Kirk Cousins was one of the highest scoring quarterbacks.
He was the highest point player, actually.
Yeah.
For 3 weeks.
So going into a game against the Panthers, which you figure they're just going to trounce them, so there's going to be some points scored, and just a measly 12 out of that.
Well, I will tell you, the Kirk Cousins train ride is not very pleasurable. It's I never know what to get. So,
and even Tony Pollard here, I was thinking same thing. I figured the Cowboys would beat the Patriots. I didn't expect them to dog walk them like that. But when they do, you would figure Pollard would at least get in the end zone.
You would think that, but then they put him on the bench for most of the second half, and it's like you didn't get any of that garbage yards. I mean, you see right there, he only had 11 carries.
Right, that's really low for him for sure, with not much competition in the backfield other than Deuce Vaughn. Yeah. So I mean, Quay Walker, a nice performance for you, but yeah, unfortunately, 259 is rough for a
259 is not going to get it done unless you're playing Gavin.
So, speaking of, we've got Gavin versus Braxton here.
Well, I've got Gavin. Gavin came in at 0-3. He scored 227 points. He's got three players left. He was a dog in both. I think both 64-point dogs versus both New York Braxton and Buffalo Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
He had good performance out of Derrick Henry with 38 points, and Quincy Williams got him 33 points. But his new quarterback, Kenny Pickett, got him 6 points, ended up leaving, and now he's got an MRI on the knee. I have not heard the results of that yet, but he may be looking for Minshew, maybe his leading quarterback if he doesn't find one.
Yikes. Yeah, he's going to have to do something. Yeah, that's going to leave him with no starter if Kenny Pickett or whoever Kenny's backup is at the moment. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, the old Bears quarterback,
Oh,
Trubisky.
Trubisky? Yeah,
Trubisky.
that's right. I would think somebody has him. I could be wrong.
So if
But yeah,
anybody's got him, it's probably Nick.
he's gonna have to scramble for that's true. So he's gonna have to scramble for a quarterback. That's gonna be rough sailing until he does. Nice little week out of Henry. People are starting to wonder if he was hitting that running back wall at his age and coming off a major surgery last year. But yeah, finally a good game for the Titans as a team in general. Really handing it to
The Bengals.
there we go. Yeah,
The,
the
the,
curse.
the, the Joe Burrow, the hurt Joe Burrows, who can't throw a touchdown pass to Chase or
Oof,
Higgins.
crazy.
So,
This one is a bit intriguing. It's close now, but it's probably not going to stay that way with Eric having 3 left to Aaron's 1 left.
yeah, Aaron's got 1 left, which is Metcalf. And the Jags have got 3 players left.
He had Walker.
Eric's down by 2, but I think he covers this one.
Yeah.
And again, great performance out of David Montgomery again, getting him 50 points out of that rushing running back position. And Detroit just pounded the ball, Thursday night with him.
Yeah, it was the Montgomery show on that Thursday night game, no question. So Eric's going to have Daniel Jones going tonight. He also had Kenneth Walker. Or no, that was.
Walker's with the Titans.
That's right.
That game's coming up here.
Yeah, he's got Daniel Jones going. With a quarterback still to go.
Yeah. Eric's got plenty of firepower left that I think he takes that game.
Yeah, that one's probably going to be settled tonight. This one's a little bit interesting.
That one's interesting also.
So 241 to 229.
Yeah, Josh is at 241 points. He's got 1 player left. Obviously the I don't want to say a big surprise, but the shocker here is if he would have played Khalil Mack, would have probably totally changed Seth's outlooks here. Unfortunately, he's going to leave 92 points on the bench.
The league record points right there. 92.
That is going to be an individual league record there. 8 tackles, 6 sacks, a pass defense, 2 forced fumbles, 92 points.
They should have just put all 5 offensive linemen in front of Khalil Mack and let the other 3 guys run free. My God.
I was looking at Mack's year-to-date stats. I mean, he's only got like 120 some points, and 92 of them were this weekend. So
yeah, right.
It would have been a tough decision to start him with 30 points after 3 weeks, but who would have known?
Seriously. Yeah, I mean, nobody saw this coming. He really hasn't done a whole lot with the Chargers. Really was pretty pedestrian last year.
But yeah, this game's still too close to call.
It is. Yeah, this one could be intriguing here. But yeah, if you lose, Josh, that Khalil Mack benching is going to haunt you for quite some time. But yeah, I don't know. His other ends don't really stand out to me, but you never know. There's always going to be those moves that you regret later. All right, this is the other one. This one is over.
The Broncos and the Colts. That one's over. Jason's got 199 points on the weekend. He's down by 43 points to the Broncos. Again, the Colts are led by Anthony Richardson with his 37 points. Jason's not here tonight, but I wanted to ask him, we did have a trade this weekend, Amari Cooper for Quentin Johnston, wide receiver for a wide receiver. And, he's expecting big points, big performance from Amari Cooper, and Cooper lays a 3 spot for him. So
the minute that they said that Deshaun Watson was not playing this week, you had to know the Browns really had no chance in this game.
Right.
And if I have other options in my flex spots, I would be considering them. But just kind of looking through these options, yeah, I mean Curtis Samuel outscored him, but who would have called that? You had to figure the Browns are going to be playing from behind, and that was the right play. But yeah, that's just not going to work unless Deshaun's in there. It looks like, which kind of to be expected.
So yeah, I'd give the victory to the Broncos tonight. Um,
Yeah.
the Broncos have got another handful here when he plays the Texans.
Yes, he does.
Where's that game at? Pull that one up there.
We'll
Yeah,
get to that one second
we'll get to that
because
one.
this is. Oh yeah, I'll skip it. We'll go right
Okay.
to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
this one's really intriguing.
this one's really good. It's within a point and a half. Denver's 3-0. Josh is sitting there at 0-3. This would be a huge upset for Josh if he can pull this off. And looking at it, it's really too close to call. We'll see how tonight's games go and see if Sean can pull this one out. He may be the only undefeated team left after this weekend. We'll get
It's
to
certainly looking like it because the Titans will not catch up with me, so
nope.
he's got his loss there. Um, Sean's got two players to go though. We looked those up, right? Who did he have left? Oh, he's got Bobby Wagner,
Yeah, Wagner.
and he has Pete. No,
Pete. No, that was somebody else. Hold on.
he's got Bobby Wagner going, and Josh had Jamal Adams,
Yes.
but Sean had one other guy going. Oh, he has the Giants handcuff. Their backup running back,
Yeah,
Gainwell.
Gary Brightwell. He's got
Right. Well, there we go.
Yeah, Gary Brightwell.
Getting my wells mixed up. Um, so a good handcuff to have, especially as a Barkley owner. Hard to say what kind of production he's going to get out of that position, but you would think those two would be enough to. Bobby Wagner alone, you would think would outscore Jamal
He
Williams.
should.
Who
Yep.
knows? Who knows? Crazy things, crazier things have happened. Like Khalil Mack getting 6 sacks. I don't think he had 6 sacks last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So going back to this one, this is the other really intriguing matchup.
This one really intrigues me. Just to hype this one up a little bit. Tennessee Titans. They've got the longest winning streak going, and Las Vegas Raiders. Aaron, he's got the longest losing streak going on. You could break both of those tonight.
Wow.
Putting your game to the side with Tennessee. You're either going to take credit or Aaron will take credit for it. But the fact that Aaron's even hanging with Dustin right now is outstanding. And this is the game that comes down to Metcalf versus Walker and what Seattle's going to do with the ball tonight.
That is so good. So a 5-point difference here with Metcalf going against Kenny Walker. That is just fantastic. Just for the record, I will let Aaron take credit for breaking his winning streak just because it sounds better.
It does sound good when a team that's lost 10 in a row and hasn't won all year takes down the defending champ. So
it does. I'll just take the W, but I'll let the record show that Aaron.
You can get the scraps when Aaron's done with him then. But I was going to shout out with Aaron. I don't know how he motivated his team other than saying that big old fire sale and he's done with this season and threatened everybody's out of a job and traded away Amari Cooper. I looked it up. He ended up going out and picking up 8 guys off the free agent list, filling in holes this week. And the next thing you know, you're dancing with the defending champs and you're playing. I guess he's one-on-one players, right down to the wire.
Yeah. He's taking a page out of the real life Chicago Bears book. Just fire sale. Everybody's gone. Screw this season.
Well, just like the Bears, they eventually got to look at the ownership, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, so this one is super fun. That is one to watch. That is literally 5 points. and DK versus Walker. That's a fun one. Moving over to this one. This one looks to be all Eric's with a 14-point lead and one additional player to go. One being his quarterback, Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's. I think the Jags have got too much power left on the bench to make this one even be close. I think he's going to pull away, and he's going to get the victory on this one.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Then we've got the Bills versus the Ravens. Jeremy should be walking away with this one with a comfortable 71-point cushion. Yeah, and with 2 more to go, he should crack that magic 300
300
number.
mark,
Feels
yeah.
pretty comfortable. Yeah,
I think he'll get to that 300 mark. So the Bills look very comfortable in this game here.
Speaking of comfortable, how about how good CJ Stroud looks early? Man, that might be quite the pick for Jeremy there.
Well, I think it's really ballsy just to be playing, a rookie quarterback, 4 weeks into the season, and he is stuck by him all year, and Stroud just continues to put up, 30 plus points every weekend. It's Stroud looks like he could be the real deal. He's fit in well there in Houston.
Yeah, they don't have much of a line, but I mean, sometimes talent's all you need. And yeah, 300 with 2 TDs against the Steelers. This may be a down year for the Steelers, but that's the Steelers defense is never an easy defense for a rookie quarterback. Let's
It's
just especially with the pressure they can put on you and a ragtag offensive line. CJ Stroud really looks great to start this year.
Yep. That was a good pickup for him.
For sure. So then, man, once I click one of these, I get lost on where I'm at. I am. Dang it. I'm at that one. There we go. So then we can rub it into Dave one last time on the other matchup, and he's gonna lose this week.
I don't know how they're giving me 1% chance to win that thing when I'm out of players and down by 4 players. I guess I'll take that 1% on that recalculation. So
let's go ahead and talk about this for a second. This man started Zeke Elliott against the Cowboys. Now, I don't know if he was expecting like revenge yardage here or like a motivated Zeke, but this man, we're just going to call him out, has Achane on the bench for the second week. Now, last week was excusable because nobody knew he was going to do that. This week, inexcusable. I'm sorry. You got to start this kid. He's obviously special.
He's got 94 points on the year. I mean, 94 points in 4 weeks. 4 weeks. He's not going away.
This was his number 14 overall, 114. Another great looking pick. He's got to run with the rook here. So unfortunately for him, it's not going to matter in this.
It's not going to matter in this game when he's playing me.
But moving forward, yeah, he's got to get Achane in that lineup, or he's going to get tired of all the offers in his inbox. This one's over. 110-point lead. Dan, the week's winner as far as point total goes. And then last but not least, Rich just doesn't have enough here to catch up with Nick. So Nick is going to be moving into the 4-1 club, which means our last undefeated team is probably going to be Sean's Broncos.
Yep.
Which feels pretty rough, especially knowing I lost to him last week by 2. And I there were moves I could have made to win. He had other reserves he could have started too. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. You can try to overthink it, but it is what it is. But I lost to this man by 2, and these were not puny scores. It was like 327 to 329. So right. What can you do? If I score 327 and lose, I'm really not mad about it. It's just, hey, I played the better team that week.
Well, on doubleheader weekend, on a doubleheader weekend, it's one of those things where if you play well, you get rewarded, and you don't play well, you don't. I mean, we've got pretty much 4 teams already: the Bengals, the Browns, Jets, and Chiefs that are basically already going 2-0 this weekend, and then you got 4 teams down at the bottom Steelers, Ravens, Dolphins, and the Colts. We didn't show up this weekend, and we're all going 0-2. And then you got 8 teams in the middle that are going to go 1-1, 2-0. I mean, obviously the Broncos still got a chance to go 2-0 and stay undefeated. But there's a lot of still too close to call these games.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure how it'll all play out.
So before we transition into a preview of next week's games, I noticed we had one other person pop in. Just wanted to point out the one to watch tonight, if I can find it. It is this one. You have the winless Raiders with a 10-week losing streak with DK Metcalf going versus the defending champions, who has a multi-week win streak going, who has Kenny Walker going, and a 5-point cushion. This is the matchup to watch tonight if you're watching Monday Night Football. That's fantastic. It's just 2 players to watch. So on the same team even. So it's literally do the Seahawks have to play from behind, or will they get a lead and start running the ball? Intriguing matchup. So there you go. That is our week 4 recap. Huge implications with all the doubleheaders. So let's go ahead and get up to our week 5 preview, where we're back to our regular matches here. And these fun projections where I come out as a 42-point dog because I guess they just assume
No, you're actually favored by 42. You're favored by 42 over
I'm
Josh.
reading it wrong. I'm an idiot here. Jesus. Okay. Okay. But yeah, it's the other one that makes me laugh is that Nick is the 48-point underdog against Joey's Patriots here.
Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe Braxton's going to put some of that mojo and leave a chain on the bench again, and maybe Elliott goes off. I don't know. They obviously know something that we don't know. Maybe it's home field advantage. So the game that I like for bragging rights is the Bristol Main Street game, which is Baltimore Gavin and Miami Rich. The winner of that game can dominate Main Street here in Bristol, as their 2 jobs and restaurants are only a couple places apart. So Best Buddy's going to be duking it out there. But nice. I'd give the slight nod, actually the big nod to Rich. So
yeah, the website tends to agree with you with that huge number there of 96.8. My goodness.
It'd be interesting to take that and whether I'd take the points or not and see if Gavin could actually cover it. I don't know if Rich can cover that 96 points.
That is, yeah.
That might be a good side bet to see if Rich can actually cover that 96 points without setting Gavin's lineup.
Without it, before it changes, I'm actually just going to screenshot that for later so that we can review it and see if those numbers move. 96.8. Yeah, then Dave, you're up against the Bills going into next week. You gotta redeem yourself from doubleheader weekend here.
Well, as Kirk Cousins goes, so does the Steelers.
Well,
and I don't have the balls to put Zach Wilson in yet as my starting quarterback.
He looked pretty good, but not good enough to start over Kirk Cousins. That's for sure. Then, hey, we got a coin flip game here between the Jags and the Broncos. We got a couple real good teams duking it out there.
And that's always a good matchup. They matched up a couple times last year. I think that was also a playoff matchup. 2 really good power teams that are going to be duking it out. That's pretty much a pick 'em game. Even if the line's a 1.5, I can tell you it's too close to call right now, just knowing the rosters that they have and the ownership that they have in that team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I may give the slight nod to Sean because he's got a bit more offensive firepower, but Eric's certainly got a stout defense that can make up for it. And then our co-host here, Jason, with a 58-point favorite over the Raiders, who hopefully will have a win by the time we meet again.
That would be good for Aaron and his Raiders.
That would be good for the league. We need We need our defending champion knocked down a peg. That's what we need.
And you don't want it to be you.
That's
You want
right.
you want the 2 pegs tonight.
Yeah, I'll take sloppy seconds. And then Dustin going in as a massive favorite against the Chargers. Probably not a huge surprise there. Dustin's got a really good team.
Well, the other one I don't see happening is Cleveland Dan versus New York Jets Braxton. I see that matchup. Cleveland Dan has been on fire, throwing huge numbers out there. Braxton's going to get a couple victories this weekend playing slough teams like me. I wouldn't take the 29 points in Braxton, but I would definitely put my money on Cleveland Dan, especially with the points that he's been throwing up the last couple of weeks. And who knows what Mr. Pikachu Puka does getting points.
No kidding.
Who needs Cooper Kupp when you got a Pikachu Puka?
I'm telling you, if you have the number one receiver on Matt Stafford's team, you're going to be okay because he's going to put up numbers. And he's got Matt Stafford's number one right now. Actually, he has Tutu Atwell too. So he has his 1 and 2. I just picked up on that.
Well, if this continues to play out, my big question for Dan is going to be: did he know that he was drafting him, or did he just luck into it and pick a player and there it was? But Pikachu, I think, or Puka, he drafted him really late.
7-10.
7-10. That is absolutely crazy. The fact that all of us passed on him for 7 rounds, 7-10.
I mean, I had a feeling that somebody had to step up in Kupp's absence. I thought it might be Van Jefferson incorrectly. But yeah, they're gonna. This kid can play. Obviously, I mean, he got targeted 20 times 2 weeks ago and caught 15 balls. That's
well, he keeps it up, and if there wasn't this running back out in San Francisco by the name of McCaffrey, you could be talking about Puka being offensive player of the year, at least offensive rookie of the year for sure.
Oh yeah, he's right now running away with that. Other than C.J. Stroud's play.
C.J. Stroud, yeah.
But man, I mean, this kid's the steal of the draft in our league and the NFL draft right now for sure. So great pick there. Yeah, so you're right. That's he's I don't see that one. Yeah, that one's a bit of a head scratcher on Braxton being the favorite there. No offense there, but yeah. Dan's got some firepower for sure. Awesome. So yeah, again, guys, the big one to watch tonight is our defending champ up against the winless Raiders. This is crazy. This is Walker heads up against DK Metcalf. Makes for a fun Monday Night Football game if you're watching it tonight. For sure.
I bet you both of them will be staying up late tonight watching the results of this one.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's how I felt last week. My 2-point loss to Sean. I had to get. I believe I was waiting on. I needed tackles out of a corner or an interception and didn't get enough. So there you go, guys. That has been our week 4 recap.
Week 4.
And week 5 preview. Dave, you got anything else you want to tidy up our show with here?
Well, I'll wait to see the new standings tomorrow morning. I think we're going to have some new division leaders, a lot of movement, a lot of games still undecided whether some teams are going to go 2-0 or 0-2, 1-1. And it's obviously you can go from second or third place back to first, or from first to third early in the season. A doubleheader week in 4 is quite interesting. We also have 2 more doubleheaders coming up in week 8 and week 12. And, I'm looking out in the calendar a little bit. Week 12, when we start looking at playoff spots, and you're playing 2 games there, man, if you lay an egg that weekend, and you can go 0-2 and you go from the playoff hunt from the inside to the outside looking in.
You
It could be
know,
it could be scary, or it could be a very big momentum going coming week 12 with only 2 weekends left after that, regular season wise.
you mentioned it, so I want to go and highlight this because this is intriguing as hell. I will say that you're going to have me against the Broncos here, and what's going to be a coin flip game. That's going to be a war there, just like it was last week. The other big one I saw here was Dan versus Nick. These are going to be your two leading teams in the AFC North, most likely going into next week. So that one's going to be interesting. Um, yeah, so we have, and then of course you and Nick could go in against each other, which has already proven to be quite a fun little rivalry there.
Those are always fun games, and every shot I get, I just want to say, I'm 3-0 versus Nick. Nick's never beaten me in this league. That's all I care about right now. So he can have first place for a weekend. I'll come back and I'll get him. I still got games left. I still got 2 more shots with him, so I just got to keep it close.
There you go. Okay, guys, you heard it here first. This was your week 4 recap of the Not Your Mother's Day Fantasy League. We're going to sign off for tonight, but definitely watch that Monday Night Football game and watch out for that DK Metcalf versus Kenny Walker matchup. That is a doozy.
Go Metcalf and the Raiders.
Right? Thanks, everybody that tuned in. You guys are awesome. I was Mike. We will see you next time.
See you guys.